Okay guys, welcome to part 2 of Mission 7 in my lore discussion and playthrough of Dishonored. Though I'm growing more and more aware that as the game goes on there's less and less lore to talk about, so it's just becoming kind of a playthrough, so anyone who's still around at this point, I very much appreciate it. But if there are parts that I've missed or lore that I haven't picked up on, please feel free to let me know, and I'll go back and talk about it if it makes sense to do that. Okay. Okay, here we are, about to go to Central Rudshore, where Dowd has his base. We see one of these one of these cars that kind of electric rail cars that we see in the cinematic trailer, but we never actually see it get used. So to get to Dowd's base, there are a couple of ways to do this. One is to kind of swim through that river of slime down there. But it's actually kind of useful to take out as many assassins here as possible. Again, if you if you sleep dart them when they're on the ledge, there they go. He just goes down into the water, so that's a kill. So, again, be cognizant of that. This is a good place to make liberal use of your sleep darts because there's a little cache of them up ahead. Yeah, and this is a good place to... Okay, well, that didn't quite go as planned, but you see the point. You can kind of camp out here and sleep dart as many from this little angle as possible. It'll definitely make things easier up ahead. Let's see if we can find any more here. Here's another one that is he gonna fall in the middle? Is he? Oh, there it goes. Sometimes they ragdoll into the surface. Oh, he's still snoring. So in the Knife of Dunwall DLC, when you first come to this region, okay, it actually has not flooded as much as it is at this point. So it takes place kind of before that. So there are places where you can walk around that are dry. At this point they're now underwater. Sometimes it's easy to get confused about which state to expect. Alright, so pretty sure hounds do not count towards kills. Supposedly they were supposed to only use the term wolfhound in the game and never say the word dog, but there are a couple of places where they do use the word dog, so I don't know if that's kind of a slip-up or not. Alright, Martha's journal, excerpt from a worn journal. The whalers came in greater numbers last night. We ran as soon as we heard the odd sounds they make, but half of our men fell before we could scatter. Larian says they aren't whalers at all, but cultists hiding their faces behind masks from the old oil processing factories. We should have moved out when they first started skulking around. They're after the old Chamber of Commerce building for the same reasons we settled here. It's secure, fairly dry, and there's a tunnel underneath leading straight to Rudshore Gate, which is how we'll get out later. So the Whaler gang wasn't always here. They just kind of took the opportunity to move in when the Rudshore district flooded and became the flooded district. So yeah, in the Knife of Dunwall, there's a this area right down here is dry. It's where you have to rescue one of your captured assassins. But if you remember in the last video, there's we came across a safe code describing a safe in one of the apartments in this district, and it's this apartment. And you have to swim a good bit underwater. It's not too far. I mean, there's air up here, so it's not like you have to risk your life. But here's the safe, and then the code is 428. Okay. Imperial statuette, just as we heard. Now, in the in one of the previous Outsider Shrine monologues, the Outsider mentioned something about Sokolov searching abandoned sub-basements in the flooded district. I like to think that this is one of them. This is exactly it. It's a flooded. It's abandoned sub-basement in the flooded district. I don't know. It's the only one I can find. So. Okay, a couple of ways to go. Oh, that's where I want to go. Okay. I thought there were more of them. I wonder if the number is tied to your chaos level. But as you can see, taking them out ahead of time really makes it much easier to move around at this point. Excerpt from an assassin's log. The 4 hounds we rescued from the overseers are making great progress. I am confident that with continued care and proper feeding, the training that they received at the hands of the zealots will fade, and they'll begin to behave more to our liking. Which means attacking anyone who's not them, so I'm gonna have to I'm gonna go ahead and take them out now. Yeah, there was someone standing up here that he sleep darted out to his death. But again, accidental kills are not going to raise your chaos to high level, so you have to actively try. So again, don't be overly concerned about that if you're trying to go for a low chaos run. Okay. But if you're going for a real no kills, no detections, no nothing playthrough, there's a... Oh, hold on. So this is just the side alley into the yard that we were at before. Let me come back to the beginning here. So there are a couple of ways in, like I said, and one that I had done mostly when I was afraid of being detected, was to just swim underwater straight through and stay kind of to the left here. Go down Commerce. This is Commerce Street on this side of the Chamber of Commerce building, and you come up in this little channel between these two buildings. Yeah, Commerce Street. So you're kind of coming right underneath where the assassins are watching for you. And I think there's a bone charm back here. Yep. Swift Shadow. Okay, and then you can sneak up, kind of climb this little pillar here, and then get up into here, and then you'll be right behind where the... Also, you can take this rat tunnel. There's the opening is kind of down there somewhere, and you can climb this rat tunnel up to this point as well. And you'll be behind where the assassins are watching for you. So you can kind of come over here and sneak right through into the building right there. Now another way, if you wanted to avoid all the assassins inside there completely, is to come down here. So as you come in from the beginning of the area, you come up onto this street light, and there's one little spot you can blink to. Oh, there it is. See if I can get... Ah, I missed it. There we go. Okay, and this street is called Jessamine Way, Jessamine Boulevard, obviously because of the statue over this right there. And you can get over that sort of section of fallen wall and come right into here and go on the other side of the building. Let's see, there's one guy there, another one up there. Okay, so only two guys. I feel like this whole place is gonna fall in on me any moment. Not a really good place for a base. Don't know if it's gonna collapse. Those masks can't be great for peripheral vision, so it's pretty easy to sneak up on them even from the side. Okay, so we can blink right into Dowd's room, his office.
What is it? I know your footsteps, Corvo.
He knows I'm here already. It's odd. But, let me...
Do you think you can hide from a hunter of men?
Yeah, it seems like I can. I'm gonna reload here and come back in the other way anyway. Because then we can listen to some more NPC dialogue.
You're here for field work. I have a job tonight. What's the delay? I am gate-bound, not river-bound. And Dowd holds the key to the tunnel and is asked not to be disturbed. Is that it? Correct. This prisoner we took, the bodyguard who was with the Empress, seems to trouble him gravely. Yes. I feel that we've reached a turning point tonight. Yes. Good luck on your assignment, when you're permitted to leave.
Most of these assassins wear, they're either dark blue or black jackets, but a few of them were gray. Kind of a gray-green, kind of Feldgrau, I guess, jacket. And I think those are novice assassins. They're not quite as powerful. But there are very few of them. Most of them wear kind of the standard color. Okay, and here's the cache of sleep darts. Oh, okay, well there's only 4, so not... Alright, instructions from Dowd. The sleep toxin is only to be used on abductee targets and on bounties which we need alive. Don't waste them trying to avoid collateral casualties. Nice guy. So these are locked. We need his key to come back down and get these.
For your next trial, you must move unseen. Stay in shadow and avoid the light. Cross to the other side of the room without attracting notice.
So this scene is a homage to Thief, the Thief games from the around late 90s, 2000, which obviously is a massive inspiration for this game and had a lot of the same developers at Looking Glass Studios way back then. So this is kind of a little reference to those games.
Very good. I did not see you approach. Now, attempt a transversal. Do not focus on your destination with your eyes. That is folly and will limit the potential of the power. You know the layout of the room. Instead, focus on where you wish to be standing, and it will be so. Excellent. We have no more to teach you for now. Return to your place of rest. Your real work with us begins tomorrow night.
So you can go up either way you want here, but you kind of have to be careful not to be seen. If you go in one way, not to be seen from the other way. So sometimes they're over there looking through and they'll see you. Oh, sometimes they're over here.
Master,
May I not have a moment of...
Corvo's beaten us, sir. He's killed men who have no equal in the Isles. I'm afraid he'll kill me, too. You said this couldn't happen, sir.
I didn't think it could. I always thought one of you, the strongest of you, might kill me. But not a stranger. A man not trained in our methods. But perhaps he will. Remain on watch, and kill him if you can. Maybe you'll surprise us both. So you've lost it all. Ruined at last. Lord Regent, Royal Supply Master, Hiram Burroughs. You small, worried man. You'll never know how many times I've thought about trying to get close to you again. Just to put a piece of sharp metal in your eye. But now there's no need. You've been taken down by the same apparatus that gave you life to begin with. Laws and courtrooms and the mighty swell of public outrage. Good riddance to you, sir. So many schemes you had, and so many contracts. How many people did I kill for you? None like the last. None like her. I'd give back all the coin if I could. No one should have to kill an empress.
Red Shore Chamber of Commerce, excerpt from a book covering the various districts across Dunwall and their histories. Once the financial heart of the Empire, the Red Shore Financial District was a hive of trade activity. No district employed more barristers, accountants, or indeed more security, and no part of Dunwall saw a greater flow of coin. When the flood barriers broke and the waters rolled in, the looting that followed was accompanied by an epic period of chaos and butchery. Those who could withdraw and move their assets did what they could. Others, with their wealth tied up in grand mansions and artwork, lost it all. When the last of the high society set had withdrawn and the lights went dark, Red Shore was a gloomy, crumbling shell of what it had been, inhabited by thieves, wild dogs, and rats. Once great palaces of commerce sat empty and haunted, or came to house killers and mercenaries, as well as anyone else looking to hide from the city watch. In mere months, the flooded district was settled upon as perhaps the most proper name for the place. The Royal Protector, excerpt from a historical record of government positions and ranks. Throughout the ages, rulers have always faced attempts on their lives. Once in a generation, the empire is rocked by the death of a powerful political or religious figure. As such, city-states across the Isles have devised varying strategies for protecting their leaders. In the capital city of Dunwall, each new emperor is allowed to appoint a royal protector. This is far more than a trusted bodyguard. Much more revered than the hand-chosen guards defending Dunwall Tower or the food tasters, the Royal Protector is a court figure, given enormous latitude, who keeps constant company with the highest ruler in the known world. At the age of 12, the young monarch participates in the selection process, making the final decision about who will safeguard his or her life. While most of those chosen as Royal Protector have been men, several times throughout history a woman has served well in the role. For the first time in Dunwall's history, a monarch has been slain by her own bodyguard. At the time of this writing, with Dunwall in the grip of the worst plague ever recorded, our fair Empress Jessamine Caldwin has just been murdered. The deed was done by her former Royal Protector turned assassin, Corvo Attano, who is still sitting in Coleridge Prison awaiting his deserved execution. Some argue that it is worth noting that Corvo Attano is the first Royal Protector in the history of the Empire born outside of the Isle of Bristol. The lighthouse, I think... Yes, we already read that. Dowd's log, latest entry. 18 years on this wretched rock, in this city of filth. I felt the blood of scholars, of noble pedophiles, of guildsmen, of unfaithful lovers, of politicians who were far too just for their own good, and of law enforcers who came too close to bringing the wrong man to justice. Why should an empress be any different? Why should I feel the entire weight of this dying city crushing down on my back? Corvo, Lord Protector, is of Serkonos, just as I once was. I might have known that fact already, but it didn't matter until I recognized it in his face. It brought back distant memories of home and the optimistic young man I once was. What would I find if I went back there? Would I find that it is rotted from the inside, just like Dunwall? Or would it only appear that way, because I'm the one who's rotted? So you learn more about Dowd's backstory and his DLC, Knife of Dunwall and Brickmore Witches. I can remember some of it now, but haven't decided if I'll do those yet. Maybe sometime in the future, but not for a while. I've got to take a rest. So the easiest way of taking care of Dowd is just by sneaking in and stealing his key without him noticing, which I did not do just there. Let's try that again. So if you can blink underneath that little table, you can kind of camp out there and wait for him to get near enough that you can pickpocket him. You also got to get his key over there, so... Steal the pouch from his belt and leave him unharmed. So that's one thing you can do. Kind of show him who's better at stealth. You can rob him without him even knowing you were there. But you also got to get that key, so... Yeah, there's no getting around it. Sometimes playing a stealth game just means waiting. Which I don't mind, but it doesn't make for a very exciting video, I suppose. You can pick up some of these bolts if you're not full. I think I am full. Come on, move. Alright. Yoink. Got it. Alright, so if you want to do it this way, you just sneak out, take the tunnel underneath the building, and that's it. Joel Bones, letter to Dowd.
Dowd, I am satisfied. Corvo would have been very useful to me, but your improvisation was exemplary. Him taking the fall for the crime simplified matters greatly. I hope you are equally satisfied with the payment. I shall contact you again shortly for additional assignments. HB.
Of course, we know now that he did not do that. He sent in a bunch of overseers to wipe out any evidence of what he'd done. That didn't go so well. And the way out is down here, and this door is just the way into the first place you typically come into through that window. Although if you break the glass, you can blink through without using the key. And if you go halfway down, you can get the second painting that's in this mission. Torturer's Quaternionic Groan. This is a Sokolov painting of the Torturer. Letter to the Director. So that's it. We're closing down. After all these years? After we just unveiled the new statue of Jessamine Caldwin. A broken wall and some rising water, and we're just going to abandon the building and split up our offices in the lesser districts? Are you insane? Has your brain turned to plague rats? Have you been drinking the outsider's piss? Any of these explanations I would accept sooner than the relocation assignments we all found on our desks this morning. If this is truly how you plan to operate as our director, then no, I will not accept my relocation orders. Consider this my resignation. Percival Cox, former Deputy Chairman, Rudshore Chamber of Commerce. Doesn't want to move. I can sympathize. And a room. Okay, and then this is how we get out and go on to the next section. So I'm going to save here. Actually, yeah, I'll just go back up. Because you can still confront Dowd and do it at any point. So I'm going to show that as well. Alright, so let's engage in some combat. Well, alright, let me... That was anticlimactic. Let's try that again. Aha, here I am.
And now we fight the duel that no two others could fight against the ticking of the clock. Leave us. I have to do this alone.
One good strategy for fighting Dowd is just keep moving, keep blinking around,
I've waited.
because he'll... Was that it? Huh. Good thing I put that because I put that spring razor there. That was easy. It's usually not that easy.
I have one more surprise for you. I asked for my life. When I killed your Empress and took her daughter, something broke inside me. Now I see the design on the back of your hand, the mark of the outsider himself. And I remember all I've done. The years of waiting for the right moment to step forward from an alley and drive a knife between the ribs of some noble. All the money exchanging hands from one rich bastard or another. Killing for one of them 1 year, then being paid to kill him in return the next. But what have I accomplished? More than you have, or much less. I remember bending at the shrines, listening as the outsider whispered that I was going to change things, that I was somehow important. It felt good. Made me believe I was powerful. Now I want nothing but to leave this city and fade from the memory of those who reside here. I've had enough killing. The men you worked for asked you to kill for them, but you found some other way. You took a path I could have followed, but did not. So my life is in your hands. Make your choice.
Okay, so now a little bit about Dowd. He's from Serkonos. He was born in 1795 of this world's calendar, so he's 42, about 3 years older than Corvo. He sounds older because of Michael Madsen's voice, although people chain smoke cigars here, so who knows how old they sound. He came to Dunwall when he was 16, I believe, and so he's actually the son of a woman who, there's no polite way to say it. She was taken captive by pirates, and then he was conceived soon after. But his mother was reportedly a witch of some kind. It's not known whether she was a witch, like a real witch, like Delilah, or just really good with poisons. But she was very good with poisons, and eventually he managed to poison all of the pirates who had taken her captive. Took control of the ship and then sailed it back to Serkonos. And then later, Dowd came to Dunwall and found he had, a talent for murder, basically, and became an assassin for hire, and eventually got the attention of the outsider who marked him at some point in the 18 teens, early 20s, something along those lines. And then he was able to share his powers with his underlings, and then he formed the Whaler Gang, and that takes him to here, where they are in the flooded district now. So that's kind of, I don't think a whole lot is known about his young life other than that, but there may be more in the lore of the DLC that I've forgotten, but that's generally it. All right, so if we don't spare his life, just cut his throat and throw him to the side. In the DLC, you throw him off that cliff, and he tumbles down, much more dramatic. But in this one, you just throw him to the side there. And the heart says,
in the schoolyard, the other children would marvel at his quick hands. One day, a man came for young Dowd and led him away. No, there is no turning back from the path he has chosen. Paid assassin, Dowd. The last thing the Empress felt was his blade. His hands do violence, but there is a different dream in his heart. Why have you brought me here? Am I meant to forgive this man for what he did? In the schoolyard, the other children would marvel at his quick hands. One day, a man came for young Dowd and led him away.
is that it?
No, there is no turning
I guess
back.
so. Not too many lines of dialogue for Dowd. Okay. And then if you walk away, he'll blink away. And I think I've heard it said that the remaining assassins
Mercy. Extraordinary.
will not be hostile towards you. But as far as I can tell, there aren't any remaining assassins. I mean, maybe I just took them all out, but I typically don't even see any after that sequence. Okay, I don't think there's a whole lot to explore. I keep thinking that's something I can interact with because it's so shiny, but it's not. There is a blueprint here. See a layout of Dunwall Tower on the floor there. They're planning their attack. This audiograph is just the dialogue that we heard him say earlier. The Eradication of Black Sally, excerpt from a popular story of crime and daring, by Jules Robin and the City Watch. Before Slackjaw ran the streets in the distillery district, There was no boss more ruthless, violent, or dedicated to squeezing the average citizens for coin than Black Sally. Like so many from Morley, she was pale-skinned and green-eyed, with hair as black as the void. They say that she started young, and as a girl she'd stun a man with her looks, coming upon him in an alley, then smile a one-sided smile and suddenly run him through with a knife. She'd have his money and be on her way before he breathed his final breath. As a boss, she was worse, ruling over the meanest street gang Dunwall had seen up to that time. Her operation touched everything, from shipping to prostitution. She even had a racket going with the Bakers Guild. Finger in every pie, indeed. One man, Watch Captain Jules Robin, made it his mission to stop her, and kept the case going for half a decade. Black Sally met her end when Robin had his men light smoke fires and barrels near the warehouse where she hid out during the day. As she and her gang rushed into the streets terrified the building was burning, Captain Robin and his top officers threw nets over them and ran them all through with blade and pistol shot. And I think, yes, we already read this. Alright, some more of the assassination targets. Some maps of the Overseer Office, Distillery District.
So you've lost it all. Ruined at last. Lord Regent, Royal Spy Master.
Piece of sharp metal in his eye.
Burroughs. You small, worried man. You'll never know how many
All the
times
wanted
I've
posters
thought
of doubt
about
in this
trying to get
game,
close to you again.
they only show
Put a piece of
just
sharp metal.
someone in a whaler mask. The only time you actually see his face on a wanted poster, I think, is in the Death of the Outsider, where Billy has an old wanted poster with his face on it.
Many schemes you had.
But that was created,
many
I think, for that game. I
contracts.
don't think there are any actual
How many people did I
wanted
kill for
posters with
you?
his face.
None like the last. None like her. I'd give back all the coin if I could. No one should have to kill it.
Just want to make sure there's no more runes or bone charms. I don't think there are in this section. But we can unlock these desks. Just a little bit of loot. I don't see anything. That might be it. All right, let's go. Okay, this area is called the Old Moseley Canal, and if you go this way, towards the dead end, there's actually a rune here. Oh, sorry, bow charm. At scent. watch the infamous plague wagon drop in the corpses, which may or may not all actually be corpses. Some dialogue indicates that some of them are still alive, and some of them don't even actually have plague.
I can't see anything. I must be in a basement.
There's no hospital. I told you that. You think they round people up because there's a cure?
There's city guards. They're supposed to protect people.
They did. They protect the healthy people from people like us, the sick ones.
I'm not that bad. Some people pull through, right? Don't they?
1 in 1,000. 10,000 probably.
Any chance I'll take. When I get out of there and get better, I'm going to do right this time. A fresh start. This time.
Goodbye, my boy. Strange. You don't look ill. You're not a victim, not a guard. A spirit from the void, maybe. Another wagon comes every few minutes. How many do you think have died? They say 1/3 of the city. I wouldn't have believed it, but I saw the mound of corpses myself. They dropped us in it. I don't blame them. I know why they do it. But I only wanted to die at home.
Can't stand this waiting anymore. The plague wagon's running every couple of minutes now. We just need to get on top of it and ride out of here.
Okay, great, smart guy. And what do we do when we hit the wall of light on Wet Short Gate? We'll be fried.
We can worry about that when we get there. I don't hear you with any better ideas.
That's because you've got fat in you. Those tall boys are just waiting for a chance to cut loose. We get power to their...
Oh, sorry, I cut off the dialogue. These guys are weird. They're kind of like low-level aggressive. So if you get too close, they'll kick you or hit you. Steal that key. These are scavengers, so I don't mind robbing them. They got a little loot cache up here. Right in here.
How did it pass me by? All the others, down with the sickness.
Letter to Ferg. Okay, Ferg. Word of advice on your greedy little treasure hunting trips to the flooded district. If you find yourself stranded and the only way out is through the Red Short Gate, this rewire tool will come in handy. If you can get through the doors, the security panel for the Wall of Light is just on the other side. Better yet, let me come with you. I'll handle the complicated things. Craggy.
All these rats crawling all over everything.
Have I specified that only cadavers take the long drop?
It's why you get a weapon.
So what is going on up at the tower? Now they're saying the Lord Regent started the plague himself.
I don't understand it either. It looks like a whole other group's in charge. Doesn't change things for us down here. Second item is carriers. Are you seeing plaguers come off the cart looking healthy? A few of them make it back up, and then we've got 10 times the mess.
Could be. Between killing Weepers and finishing the barricade. How should I know? Am I supposed to kill everyone I ever see down here?
I'm just passing this on from the stilt walkers.
Well, pass it to the men on the plague wagons. It's their job to gut these bastards before they throw them down here.
We got another whale oil tank on its way. When the lights come on again, it'll be your job to spot any Weepers.
You think that helps? Now I can stare old ladies in the eye before I cut them down. Why do you think no one lasts on this job?
I'm heading back to civilization, or what's left of it. Keep your head and you'll be on the stilts in no time.
I'll do my best. Put in a good word for me, would you?
And so this is Thresh Street right here. And if you go down in that little alley there with the stairs, there's a side, kind of a side quest. See if I can get over there without being spotted. Yeah, alright. Come back here, there's a arc pylon blocking the way out. And if you come in here, this mission is very, very glitched.
Listen to that.
Half the time it doesn't trigger, so if
Apart
that
from
happens,
dying in the muck in the flooded district,
you're not
what's
alone.
to worry about?
I'm saying even if we get out, we're just bringing it back to our families.
I don't have a family, and if I did, I wouldn't care.
No one's keeping me here. I'll infect the whole city. Just get me out.
I heard Blake back in the stairwell talking about a plan. Sounds crazy. All of us here are too weak to do it.
If I hear that thing power down, I'm going.
Me too. I bet the family man here's right behind me.
Get lost. Think that mask makes you safe?
Who are you hiding from in that mask?
Going to use that sword for something? Get us out, maybe?
What would it be like out there to live without fear again? To live like a person?
So these are the few who are inexplicably immune to the plague.
I used to work the river. Eels Bend, flooded district. The
They're all
whales
kind of
too.
huddled up here.
I know the land out here, believe it. Only way out is past the arc pylon.
And your friends? They could really help?
They're twice as good as I am. When the zapper goes down, they'll come for me.
They won't rescue us while it's on?
They're good, not crazy. When the pylon's off, they'll move and not before.
So if you were to put a whale oil tank into that receptacle outside,
3 days and all I feel is
the lights
hungry.
would come
What
on.
does that say to you?
I don't know. That we don't have any food?
And the tall boys would
I must
blast
be
the whole
one in
place.
1,000, and it's me.
Terrific. I'll turn cartwheels on my way to the mass grave.
Don't be bitter. You are not weeping yet. And the tall boys will probably kill me anyway. And maybe I'll dedicate myself to finding a cure. I'll be like Sokolov.
Oh, cut the crap, will you? Once you're out, it will be out of sight, out of mind. Go throw yourself off a cliff.
To escape you? I just might.
Yeah.
Keep your distance, scum. You think I'm some beggar woman? I'm a Brimsley. If I were at home, I'd have you thrown out. When I get out of here, I'll burn this place to the ground.
There's a man here by the name of Blake. Industrious chap. He's our best bet out of here. You could find him across the back hall. Never again, I swear. Once I'm free, they'll never do this. That mask must have cost you. Are you of good family? No, you can't be.
Mace Brimsley's journal. Day 1. When the dead counter came, I was certain that if they discovered the illness in my wife, then I would be taken as well. I commanded her to feign death, and I did the same in the hope that the inspectors would either be too lazy or too stupid to care. True to my suspicion, we were loaded onto the plague wagon without them even bothering to check us for pulse. The dead counter seemed only concerned in the value of our estate. Day 2. I cannot be certain if it was luck or cruel fate that I should survive the drop from the plague wagon. I suspect it might be a curse, for my darling wife not only survived unscathed as well, but the experience nor the plague have done a thing to halt her nagging mouth. Soon we discovered that we were not the only survivors, and in fact a small band huddled as close to Redshore Gate, begging for any chance at freedom. Day 3. Certainly by now I should be feeling the effects of the sickness within my chest and throat, but aside from dehydration and the pains of an empty stomach, I feel nothing. So these two are Brimsleys, one of the aristocratic families. That explains their lovely attitude. So let's talk to this Blake guy.
I know you. I heard you've been all over town scaring the piss out of the higher-ups. You got quite a name. Too bad you're stuck down here with the rest of us. Listen, I've got friends coming to break me out of here in a couple of days. But we first need to take that arc pylon down. You'll find it in the courtyard just behind these buildings. You may want to take the stairs up, though. It'll give you a good vantage point. Pull the oil tank out and the pylon powers down. Don't take too long deciding. When they get the floodlights on, the tall boys are coming in to clear this place out.
You gotta talk to Blake. He's my brother. He knows everything. Are you in? You part of the plan? I never knew my brother was a smuggler. I always thought that they were awful people. But now that's going to save our lives.
Fork in the eye. Ugh. Okay, the easiest way to take this thing down, pretty much just spend time and then get down there and take out the tank. Oh, and there's a guard down there. There usually isn't. And like I said, about probably half the time I encountered this mission, the last part doesn't trigger, so you can't finish it and get credit for it. So a lot of people who play it the first time, they're confused about exactly what they're supposed to do.
Just because we can't see the blood from your eyes doesn't mean you're not sick with the plague.
I ain't seen nothing braver. And I worked the river for 15 years. Thanks for shutting that thing off. Stay quiet, and I'll get these people moving. Vermin! Where's everybody going?
Just keep moving. This is it.
We're all going to get killed.
Fine. You helped us. But don't expect a pat
Anyone
on the
in
head.
there? We're clear. Time to move.
With my rescue, the entire city might yet be saved. You are a boon to society, young sir. Never again, I swear. Once I'm free, they'll never do this.
Okay, that's the last thing you have to do. It looks like it didn't glitch. You just have to make sure they don't get attacked while they're going from the house to the backyard here.
Alright, listen up, ladies and gents. Now, like I said before, it may be another day before my old buddies can get here, but they got a boat big enough for the lot of us. So just sit tight. One thing you learn from being a smuggler, half of any job's waiting.
I may still end up a weeper, but at least I'll be a free drunk weeper. Just because we can't see the blood from your eyes doesn't mean you're not sick with the plague.
That mask must have cost you. Are you of good family? No, you can't be.
I don't know if I can ever repay you. What would it be like out there to live without fear again? To live like a person?
Don't expect me to celebrate. It still might be a week before Blake's friends get here. We could all be dead by then.
You think I'm some beggar woman? I'm a Brimsley. If I were at home, I'd have you thrown out.
You did it.
You can
Thank
wait
you,
with
thank
us,
you, thank you.
or fight your way through if that's what you want. From the looks of you, you might just make it. Before they set up the arc pylons, I had stashed some elixirs up here. Maybe you've already found them. At any rate, good luck out there.
Alright, that's it for the, what do they call it? The safe haven side mission. These shadows are pretty useful for finding out where the tall boys are without having to look around the corner. Not sure where that rat tunnel goes. Haven't taken that before. Alright, so if we go back to the other side of the canal. Okay, let me get this. So to get out, you can either sneak over to the wall of light, or you can ride the plague wagon. And a lot of people who ride the train, they just go right through and never even see some of the other stuff you can do here.
What the hell are you? You some new kind of guard? Like a tall boy? Can't be. Doctor, maybe? Just kidding. Assassin, maybe. Passing through, huh? Hoping to catch a ride on the plague wagon. A few come through here trying, and they fall and break their necks, but that won't stop you. You're almost there. It's pretty easy to get to the rooftops from here. You'll see the way. What do you want from me? To rob me? Looking for a quick roll in the mud? To rescue me? Well, I am not going anywhere. I came here all on my own, and I'm staying right here. Do you think it's better out there? I hate to break it to you, but this is it. This is Dunwall, what you see right here. Flooded district, estate district, anywhere else. It's all gonna be the same soon.
Letter to Alpha. Dear Alpha, we don't care if you're sick. Please come home. We'll take care of you. I'm not afraid. Your sister tells me that you're planning on hiding in the flooded district and that you want to die alone there. Please don't do that to us. Please. I love you. And Spirit of the Deep. Excerpt from longer work of fiction. Spirit of the Deep, Siren of the Dreams. I walked for hours along the coast, leaving Dunwall behind me until the lament of the waves drowned all other feeling. I wept, knowing you would not come to me, my love. You rule my dreams, where I behold with senses I do not possess in waking life the dark splendor of your home in the deep. There the ocean rests on your back like a sleeping child on his father's shoulders. In these sleepless nights of despair you appear to me not as the mighty Leviathan, but as a young man with eyes as black as the void. don't think there's anything of value down there. But there is right there. Okay, so you can either ride on this wagon or this. This street here is called I think it's called Plucky Bomb Way. Not sure if that's not the right way to pronounce it, but yeah, it's Plucky Bomb, which is weird. But if you take that way, you can sneak in and sort of go along the ruined buildings along that side of the map. Don't see anything else here, so okay. I think I already
breathing in the rich stink of their
used the hard on
flesh. When the seawall broke, many strange
Yeah, I
things
did.
were drowned and forgotten.
Okay, so when you blink onto this thing, you want to make sure that it's done tilting over so you don't fall off the side. And just blink off right at the whale oil tank. Ah! Why am I so bad at that? There you go. You gotta hit the button right as that icon appears, not after. I always try to do it after. But anyway, so yeah, the other way is to kind of go make your way through this network of ruined buildings. I don't think there's a lot of loot here, but take a look anyway. It's got a lot of cover for kind of shooting at the tall boys and then taking cover. Let's grenade that open. Not sure I've been in here before. Still an officer. Little loot. Not a whole lot. Don't usually come this way. There's just not a whole lot to do. Oh, what is this? Oh, that's lazy. Invisible wall. I kind of feel like they were getting a bit sort of out of steam at this point. Is there a lot of glitches and things around here that I don't know. Seems like they could have polished a bit better. The rails. So I can get up there without electrocuting myself. Okay. Yeah, Plucky Bomb Avenue. Okay. Okay. But starting from here, just taking it out. Throw it over there for distraction, I guess. And sometimes there's a tall boy waiting in here, and you gotta get past him. But sometimes not. Okay. Alright, so back to the sewer. So as I mentioned, the flooded district and the old port district where the Helm Pits pub is, the districts are right next to each other, so it's not such a long walk to get back to the Helm Pits. You see this window here, it makes me think of Half-Life and the snipers that are holed up in the broken windows. Scavenger. Here you can drop down behind this these boards. If you break the boards with your sword, it attracts some weepers, even in low chaos. So if you can go up and over it without breaking them, save yourself some trouble. So it can be tough to get through this gate without powers, because as soon as you let go of it, it starts closing again. But I think if you crank it open while standing on it, you'll fall through, and you can do it that way. So you don't technically need powers to get through that, although it helps. And I think that's a good place to stop. So yeah, this is a pretty long mission, so it looks like I'm going to need a third video to do the very end of it. But mission 8 is like barely even a mission. It's like just one scene at the Helm Pit. So I'll probably do the last bit of this mission and then all of mission 8 in the next video. But anyway, yeah. The only thing left is the Granny Rags Slackjaw choice, so that's coming up. But I'll save that for the next video, and yeah, once again, thank you so much for watching. Appreciate it.